10 banned household tricks from the 50s that scientists now call genius. In the 1950s, your grandmother is doing something in her home that actually works. Then, one day, an expert calls it nonsense and discourages people from moving away from it. Fast forward 8 decades, and scientists now are quietly admitting those same household tricks were genius all along. Today, we're counting down 10 of these tricks that will leave you wondering why they worked so hard to get rid of them. Honey on wounds. In the 1950s, hospital authorities made the use of honey on wounds a punishable offense. The official verdict? It was unsanitary, primitive, and utterly dangerous. But there was one question nobody was asking back then. Well, why was it working? Because it was. In homes across the country, grandmothers were using it to close wounds faster than hospitals were treating them. Fast forward to today, researchers have since confirmed that specific honey varieties contain healing compounds that outperform several conventional wound treatments. Hospitals now stock medical-grade honey products costing hundreds of dollars per application. The jar never changed, just the price tag. It turns out she had also found a trick for cleaning before it was discredited. Natural cleaning products. In the 1950s, public health officials were sharply against natural cleaning methods in schools, hospitals, and government buildings. Their argument was that products such as vinegar and baking soda were unsafe and highly ineffective. Instead, they hailed chemical cleaners as the future, except modern science eventually turned around and bit them. This was after researchers began connecting those same promoted chemical cleaners to respiratory damage, hormonal disruption, and long-term organ stress. Meanwhile, the good old vinegar still cuts through grease while baking soda still neutralizes odors. Even lemon still kills surface bacteria. But it's what they said about dirt that will genuinely shock you. Walking barefoot on natural surfaces. Going barefoot was frowned upon and treated like a genuine threat. Doctors warned about parasites and pushed shoe wearing as a marker of cleanliness, civilization, and doing things correctly. Yet, Grandmom ignored all of that. Every morning, she would walk barefoot through the garden. Years later, researchers dug deeper on the concept of grounding, which is essentially direct skin contact with the Earth's surface. Findings later associated this practice with measurable reductions in inflammation markers, improved sleep architecture, and lower stress levels. The reasoning behind that is that the Earth carries a mild negative electrical charge. As such, direct contact appears to be effective in regulating biological stress responses. Wellness centers now bottle this up into grounding therapy sessions worth hundreds per visit. Yet Grandmom did it all for free in her garden. Up next, experts were also dismantling something she had spent generations perfecting in her kitchen. Preserving food without refrigeration. In the 50s, food safety authorities decided that traditional preservation, such as salt curing, fermentation, and dehydration, was too risky and outdated for modern households. The way to go was refrigeration and processed food. With that, an entire generation did away with the practice. Fast forward to today, and food scientists now understand that properly fermented and salt-cured foods don't just match the safety standards of processed alternatives, instead, they frequently exceed them nutritionally, thanks to live cultures, retained minerals, and zero artificial stabilizers. In fact, when you walk into any specialty grocery store right now, you will see those hand-labeled artisan preservation products commanding premium prices. People now know the value they hold. They took away her kitchen secrets, then came after something she wore on her wrist. Copper jewelry for joint pain. Imagine being prosecuted for selling a bracelet. Well, that was the 1950s reality where copper jewelry sellers faced legal action. Advertisements were pulled while doctors launched public campaigns calling it medieval nonsense. Decades later, researchers finally decided to actually test it. A clinical study tracked over 300 arthritis sufferers rotating between copper and placebo bracelets, and the outcomes were shocking. The copper bracelets were measurably losing between 80 and 90 milligrams of material over 50 days. Going somewhere, research published in medical literature confirmed that copper complexes were actively used in rheumatoid arthritis treatment. It also found that the primary enzyme in the body responsible for carrying copper actually carries genuine anti-inflammatory activity. So, was Grandma's bracelet doing exactly that? Let us know your thoughts. The next practice proves they had a problem with everything she touched. Growing food in small spaces. At some point in the 1950s, someone in the local government looked at a grandmother's vegetable patch and decided it needed to stop. With that came zoning laws and formal bans. Agricultural extension offices were adamant that small home gardens were inefficient, unsanitary, and basically a waste of everyone's time. Big industrial farming was the in thing, and everyone needed to jump on that bandwagon. But what do researchers actually find when they run the numbers today? A study across 13 urban community gardens found yields nearly twice that of typical commercial vegetable farms, and one analysis calculated that Los Angeles alone could meet a third of its vegetable needs simply by converting vacant lots into small gardens. Urban farming consultants now charge thousands to design systems built entirely on what grandmothers were doing before someone forbade them from doing it. But they did not stop at that. Somehow, they also found a way to ban the rain, literally. Water conservation and reuse systems. Building codes in the 1950s legally prohibited household water reuse systems, the same systems traditional communities had repeatedly relied on for generations. Collected rainwater was dubbed unsanitary and unfit for human consumption. Experts insisted centralized supply made conservation pointless. Therefore, families that had done this for decades stopped and the knowledge gradually disappeared. Yet, there is a twist to this story. Research now shows that combining rainwater harvesting with household graywater reuse can cut total water consumption by nearly half while reducing wastewater generation by close to 60%. This next practice proves that anything she did with her hands every evening was just as misunderstood as everything else. Handcrafts for stress release. Your grandmother was not just knitting. That simple practice was a form of medication. In the 1950s, mental health experts genuinely believed that sitting down with needles and yarn was a waste of time. They pushed modern therapy as the effective approach to mental wellness instead. Slowly, handcrafts got pushed aside, but that was until researchers studying knitting in high-stress environments such as prisons found that it significantly lowered stress levels. Other studies found that the repetitive rhythm of knitting releases serotonin, which is the brain's natural mood stabilizer. In fact, occupational therapists now formally prescribe these exact activities and bill such consultations by the session. And while experts dismiss what she made, they never stop to ask what was actually in that pot. Daily bone broth. A small tub of bone broth powder probably costs $50 at your average health store right now. Yet Grandma made the same thing every single week from bone she would have thrown away. And nobody called it a superfood. Doctors in the 50s actually warned against it. They labeled it as potentially unsafe and one that did not even deserve the name meal. So, researchers finally sat down and broke it apart. What they found inside that simmering pot of bones was just genuinely impressive. From amino acids like glutamine, glycine, and proline to minerals including calcium, magnesium, and zinc. The presence of all these showed immense positive effects on gut lining integrity and reduced inflammation. Once again, Grandma won, and science ate a humble pie. Up next, it also turns out that Grandma's apples were not safe from the so-called experts. Eating fruit and vegetable skins. Every single day in the 1950s, people were literally throwing away the most nutritious part of their food, not because it tasted bad, but because an expert told them to. They had been advised to peel everything and toss the skin because it was dangerous. Meanwhile, Grandma ate her apple whole and nobody could figure out why she aged so well. That was until research revealed the secret. You see, a raw apple with its skin contains over 330% more vitamin K, 140% more vitamin A, and 115% more vitamin C than a peeled one. And the pros don't stop at that. Antioxidant levels in fruit skins can run up to 328 times higher than in the flesh itself. That explains why supplement companies now sell bottled pill extracts for serious money. Subscribe for more videos like this one, and we'll see you on the next one.